All right, Gemini, so let's begin with another reading. So this is the forward-looking position. So now we're going to see about how all this context we talked about in part one translate into your future manifestation. So what 2015 will end up being is a position in which you are very powerful. You got the Magician card coming out as your top signifier for your lead into the future. And that is being modified by the Empress and by the Last Judgment, which is also very positive cards. The Empress, if you are in certain circumstances, I won't qualify based on gender, but the Empress can mean your mother, or the Empress can mean you. And that means in this year in particular, your strength comes from being the genuine feminine giving soul that you are. Now if you're a man watching this, this could mean that you're connected to a woman who exemplifies those characteristics. If you're a man, you can also exemplify the characteristics of the Empress, of the generosity of spirit, but oftentimes it refers to females or women. And the other card that modifies the Magician is the Last Judgment card. The Last Judgment card suggests that you are clearing the path in the past towards new opportunities, and the things of the past, such as things that have gone wrong, are being cleared so that you can now sprout a new beginning, a new universe. And so within the seed of this new universe is that aspect of being caring and nurturing and very maternal towards other people and towards yourself. And I think other people flock to you based on those principles. Expect this year to have a moment in the near future. So in the first, I would say, in the first 2 quarters of 2015, expect to face a circumstance that really makes you clear yourself and clear your own position in life. And that's going to empower you and allow you to become so strong in the second 2 quarters. You're going to have an event associated with a friend or family member that's going to be quite shocking, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But that could be correlated to this other event. They may be the same thing, or they may be linked, or they may be actually separate. It depends on you individually. But expect something to make you face yourself, to make you look at yourself as you've never looked before. And then when you do, and if you do that truthfully, again, avoid that devil, avoid not facing. See this year as an opportunity to face your shortcomings. And then when you do, particularly in the first 2 quarters of 2015, the big payoff, the big empowerment will happen for you in the last 2 quarters. So you'll see yourself becoming quite powerful, quite able to manifest, because when you are true with yourself, when you're true with the truth of what's going on around you, then people can't mess with you. Just like it's only through dishonesty that you really lose your strength. And so I really implore you guys to get in touch with your truth and get in touch with your own personal power. I think this also means that even though we have a high position of prominence socially this year, I just did the February readings. So even though you may have a position of prominence, your great strength comes from people coming to you. So don't reach out far. Don't put the onus on yourself to reach out. Let people come to you and allow other people to control situations, and then you can interact with them at the level that makes them feel comfortable. So you're kind of the receptacle, and through that you get your greatest agency because you can hear out everyone. And that's another lesson here, is that listen to people thoroughly. Hear what they're saying, in particular in your friends and family section. Listening is going to be key this year, or you're going to really lose ground with them. So listen to people thoroughly, trying to pass no judgment and just really keeping an open heart and mind. And through that you will be able to manifest positive realities for yourself and others, and through that your strength will grow But remember, your priority this month, although community is lifting you up, and on the outside of things, you're really interacting a lot with your community. The real power comes from inner work and also reaching out and looking at world abroad, looking beyond your borders and thinking about things globally. Gemini, you guys are having a really great reading. So you yourself in the position. This is a very powerful in this year. This is a very powerful card to have as you in the position. It also leaves a lot of pressure and responsibility in your shoulders. You are the Emperor, so you are taking on responsibility within your family group. You are taking on more responsibility with regard to other people, and you may be left with the responsibility of managing other people and situations. So you just have to kind of put up with it. You have to deal with it in that, you know, some of that might be requested, some of that might be associated with this destruction that someone around you is facing. Someone might lose something, someone might become disabled, for example, and then you will be required to be the provider as of this year. So you kind of grow into that role and that becomes solidified. You can also attain this through positive growth, which is not associated with the suffering or the dislodging of others. You could start a business this year and then watch that business really blossom and grow, and then you have the responsibility towards yourself and towards others to fill orders and kind of fill into that structural aspect. If you are a man in particular, but a woman as well, you may take on the role of father. So that could be an exciting thing for many Geminis this year. There may be kind of this fatherly aspect to your life. So expect a lot of change and expect to have a lot expected out of you. And then as you do, you will be able to step up to the plate. You will be able to achieve what it is that you need to achieve and move forward in a very powerful way and get a lot of notoriety for the work that you do. So congratulations. So this is the one card that made me a little cautious with your reading, besides the devil in that position. Based on the cards, and a lot of this you have to realize, don't start interpreting these cards based on position like I'm saying. A lot of it has to do with relational positions as well, and that's too hard to explain in one video. So if you see a tower in this position in a regular cross spread, as many of you guys have studied if you've begun reading yourselves, this is your friends and family position in a traditional Celtic cross, right? If you get a tower in this, don't start interpreting it the way that I'm about to interpret it, because it really has to do with a lot of everything that's going on, not just this one position. Because I do get questions about that, and I worry about that for you guys, and I, you know, if anything, I just want to do things accurately and on precisely. Okay, so in this position we have the tower, and the tower is talking about destruction and an upset of order. You yourself are in a position of order and centeredness, and you are blessed by the sun. This is making me really think that the destruction of order is not yours, that it's around you. And I do think that people around you are going to be changing their ways fundamentally, and you will be the spectator of that. For some of you Geminis, expect as you become more powerful as the Emperor yourself, expect people to challenge you on that notoriety. Or maybe this manifestation of your own structure will shift your focus away from communities that you've interacted with in the past. So be cautious of your friends and family members. Don't be paranoid, but just be attentive to any kind of fundamental changes that are going on in your relationships. But also you may really see something disappointing, and you may see something really, you may see events come up that are going to be real challenges, and in those events the way of life of other people may become upset. Maybe it comes to your attention that someone you know has a drug addiction, that you never were aware of, and now it's on your shoulders to help them manage that. Remember that, devil. Don't run away from your responsibilities. Be a good friend and lend a helping hand. Your position is very exalted in terms of your social position, and so you may take on the role of teacher, which is the Hierophant card right here. So take your matters seriously, and particularly the advice is that when you're working through your friends and family position, even if the circumstance seems as if it's not right or shady, or even if it doesn't add up in a traditional way of how you expect things to be, you really need to take some leaps of faith towards other people, because I think people around you will need it, and maybe directly you will not get anything back for the work that you do for them. However, indirectly, there may be really far-reaching implications to the events that happen to those people around you, okay? So be really open to helping others and interjecting in, not interjecting in the sense that pushing your way in, but when asked upon, really be available there for others this year. It will be really significant for you, and it will fundamentally, I think, your friends and family situation will change entirely this year. So the next card up is the big lesson. So this is the Death card. So there is a transition at hand, and that transition, like I said, it may not be happening directly to you, but maybe seem like it's happening all around you. I'm a Virgo, and that is a mutable sign. And last year, with all the Grand Cross in April and other aspects in October, a lot of the cardinal signs, and I mean, doing Varush Tarot, I just experienced so many people struggling with such fundamental issues. And being a mutable sign of Virgo, that didn't hit my sign as strongly as it did some of the other people that I know. And so I felt like I was in the eye of the storm. You know, everything was calm for me. Not perfect, but relatively better than for other people, while other people's lives became chaotic and completely disrupted. And so what I'm suggesting is that you may experience that this year you have this kind of experience yourself, where things for you are actually quite positive and quite tame and quite passive, and people around you are experiencing really crazy stuff. And so you're kind of the spectator of transition, of change. And so observe, this is the lesson, take notes, really learn from other people's experiences, and really try to be attentive to other people, and don't be like, oh, well, this person's just a drug addict, so, you know, that doesn't affect me. Really take on their lessons and learn from their lessons, because being exposed to their lessons is a blessing for you that they're giving to you. They're being angels and sharing that with you. And so when events happen in your life that mirror what's going on for them, I'm not saying that's ever going to happen for you, but the same thing's not ever going to happen for you. But when events in your life happen when you're stretched to the limit, then maybe some of those lessons that you learned this year will really carry forward. So I get the sense that maybe direct payoff is not an issue this year, so you may not be experiencing direct payoff for the things you do. However, indirect payoff seems like it's like maybe more something that will happen in very unique ways. So the big This Is It card, this card is supposed to sum up everything we've been talking about. The big This Is It is Temperance. And it really makes sense, especially with the Sun and the Devil. On the one hand, things are really good for you, probably one of the most prosperous years of your life. On the other, people around you are struggling, and you're faced with real serious issues that would be catastrophic had it not been for the Sun. And so your position is that of balance, balancing between two different things, the thesis, the antithesis. You yourself are providing the synthesis and making like a normal life, a normal existence. And so you may find that this year being creative and producing creative projects is really a way to channel the paradoxes that you face. Expect a year of paradoxes, being able to move forward, but at the same time being held back in your own positions in life and not allowed to move forward or not able to move forward, and still kind of in the space that you were at the beginning of the year. So it's a continuation, but yet at the same time you're kind of rearing your horses and ready to go. And so you're kind of balancing these juxtaposed experiences, and Gemini being the twin sign, this might be something that's quite stimulating for you, and therefore you may find yourself being quite creative. So one more last step, and that's the breakdown of the quarters. So in the first quarter I call spring. I think I associate winter with the end, and so the spring with the dawn. So in the spring, expect a real validation to what's going on and a very successful first quarter. So everything that you've set out to, you will start feeling approval for. And this is really associated with the Sun card here. It's really setting the pace for your year. The things that you have worked for up until now are really coming into fruition, and you're becoming emancipated and empowered in your positions as a result of previous actions. And so you're very successful, your investments are proving positive, and the outcomes are proving positive. So congratulations. Now in the summer, this is the key quarter for you. This is the second quarter. This is the growth and blossom of your situations. And I think that this is where it proves to me that what's going on for you is really outside of it's really outside of only your own experience, that a lot of it's happening around you, external to you, but you yourself kind of become cleared, and you have a clearing of your path and destiny, and good fortune comes onto you, in which your life in the past has been cleared, and the things that were disadvantageous towards you are being swept aside, swept under the rug, and kind of you're leaving those things behind. So this is the fall, the third quarter, and this is the manifestation, and also considered yang energy. And so yang energy has to do with how everything comes together. You have the Wheel of Fortune. So through all the luck and through all the positive things that are going on for you this year, you will see that the major shift in fortune happens in the third quarter. If you follow a true path, if you are honest and good and God-fearing, or you know, just with a positive attitude towards the universe, you're just really going to get blessed in the third quarter. The things that the strategies that you've set up for yourself leading up to this time will really kind of come into play in the third quarter, and then you'll be able to really make things happen for yourself. Now the outcome card and the winter card, the yin energy, or the receptacle, and how the Wheel of Fortune is how things manifest for you. So this is how your efforts are going to come and become manifested. This is the payoff. The payoff is great appreciation for who you are. This card actually is the card of Gemini. It's the card of fraternity. And even though you're taking a focus away from your own community, the payoff in the end is that your community loves you, that you're emancipated through your community, your relationships blossom, and then you end up in the last quarter, in the winter time, really appreciated and exalted by the people around you, who are thankful for you being caring, who are thankful for you being you, and thankful for you who have taken such sacrifices in order to help people around you. Okay? Well, Gemini, I hope that you've enjoyed this reading for 2015. Thank you so much for being my great supporters of 2014. I hope you guys continue into the new year, and if you need anything from me, please let me know. This reading is available through my website for a personal reading, and that's also added on to some numerology that I do for you guys. So if you're interested in that, get that through my shop. It doesn't have to be in January. And I hope that your year is great. Keep watching my videos. Keep sharing with your friends, giving me likes, and all those positive, wonderful comments that you leave me. Thank you so much. Take care.